Starcrash, 1978. This was made in Italy. If Star Wars was epic space mythology, Starcrash was the wild fever dream version. Directed by Luigi Cozzi, or Cozzi, it stars Caroline Munro as outlaw smuggler Stella Star, who gets tangled in a war against Count Zarth Arn and his planet-destroying weapon. That's very familiar. Along the way, she teams up with robots, alien prisoners, and even a young David Hasselhoff, wielding a glowing sword. With a budget of around $4 million, it only made $2 million in the US, but gained cult status on VHS for its bizarre costumes, psychedelic visuals, and shameless copycat energy. To this day, it's remembered as that movie where David Hasselhoff had a lightsaber. The Humanoid, 1979. This was also made in Italy. Italy wasn't done cloning Star Wars, and this time they brought in James Bond's towering villain, Richard Kiel. The Humanoid follows a mad tyrant and his scientist ally who build an army of clones to conquer the galaxy. Opposed by a band of heroes straight out of Lucas's playbook, with Jedi-like mentors, robot companions, and galactic battles, it checks every box, but with half the charm. Costing about $2 million, it never reached major box office success outside Italy. Instead, it became one of those European knockoffs remembered for its strange tone and cult appeal.
Merely sharpened my desire to see you again.
It is very gratifying for me to know that I've been in your thoughts all this time. As you can see, you've been in mine as well. And all this work is to help you regain the power that is rightfully yours.
Message from Space, 1978. This time, this was made in Japan. Japan's big swing at competing with George Lucas came from Toei Studios. Message from Space borrows the Rebel vs. Empire framework, complete with a princess, a planet enslaved, and a mystical glowing seeds that choose a group of reluctant heroes. Sonny Chiba adds star power, while the design mixes samurai flair with space opera. With a massive $6 million budget, the largest in Japan at the time, it disappointed abroad but was popular at home, even spawning a TV spin-off. Critics called it a mess, but visually it's one of the most ambitious Star Wars imitators, often dubbed as the Japanese Star Wars.
Do you know where Emeralita is? You know where Emeralita is? What are you doing? No! I'm a human being from the planet Earth!
I buried my career in orbit. But Babel won. I can't do it. And chosen by the gods.
Battle Beyond the Stars, 1980. This was made in the USA. Ironically, Roger Corman, the king of cheap cinema, pulled out all the stops for this one. With a $2 million budget, his biggest ever, he created a mashup of Star Wars and the Seven Samurai. The story follows Shad, a young pilot who recruits a group of alien mercenaries to defend his planet from a galactic tyrant. Behind the camera, a young James Cameron worked on effects. James Horner scored the music, and the cast included Robert Vaughn and Sybil Danning. It grossed about $11 million, turning a profit and cementing itself as one of the most beloved space knockoffs ever made.
Try one. That's a hot dog. It comes from Earth. Do you like it? There's no dog in this. Soybean meal, niacin, dextrose, and sodium nitrate flavoring. That's what we call meat back home.
Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, 1983. This was also made in the US. So this one feels like Star Wars collided with Mad Max. It follows Wolf, a cynical pilot played by Peter Strauss, who is hired to rescue kidnapped women on a ravaged planet. Along the way, he picks up a teenage Molly Ringwald and faces off against Michael Ironside, a grotesque cyborg villain. Costing $14 million, it grossed only $16.5 million, barely scraping by financially. Critics dismissed it, but it became a VHS staple and a guilty pleasure for fans of 80s sci-fi weirdness.
McNabb! McNabb! You have done this to me!
I think you have me confused.
You and I were the only doctors in this galaxy, and they sent us to fight the
plagues, Grand Man.
You betrayed me, McNabb!
Lensman, 1984. This is an anime made in Japan. Based on the pulp novels that inspired Lucas in the first place, Lensman feels like anime Star Wars. A young farm boy inherits a mythical lens from a dying warrior, joins the rebellion, and fights an evil empire with a super weapon. While visually striking, it leans so hard into A New Hope that it sparked legal disputes, and the author's estate banned future re-releases. The budget isn't well documented, but it underperformed in theaters. Today, it's remembered less for success and more as a fascinating case of Star Wars come full circle through anime. Starchaser, The Legend of Orin, 1985. This was also made in the US. Marketed as the first 3D animated feature, Starchaser was essentially Star Wars in cartoon form. It tells the story of Orin, a slave boy who discovers a hidden laser sword, escapes his overlords, and joins a smuggler pilot to rescue a princess and take down a galactic tyrant. With a $4 million budget, it didn't make a big theatrical splash but found life on home video and Saturday morning TV. Critics dismissed it as a blatant copy, but for many kids in the 80s, it was their animated gateway to sci-fi adventure.
We welcome you as an honored member of the Kakar. You are free to leave your human form and come with us.
Yes. Not yet. I'd like to stretch my legs for a few decades.
Turkish Star Wars, 1982. Obviously, this was made in Turkey. This list will not be complete without the most infamous knockoff ever, The Man Who Saved the World, better known as Turkish Star Wars. With almost no budget, the filmmakers literally stole space battle footage from A New Hope and spliced it into their own story of Turkish action star Cüneyt Arkın, karate kicking his way through alien villains and giant boulders. It also used stolen music from Raiders of the Lost Ark and Flash Gordon. It made no money on release, but decades later became a global cult hit for its sheer audacity. Often called the worst bootleg ever made, it was so bad that it became legendary. The Black Hole, 1979. Before The Empire Strikes Back, Disney took its own stab at a space epic with The Black Hole. Released just 2 years after A New Hope, it featured robots, laser battles, and a ragtag space crew caught near a mysterious cosmic vortex. The film was Disney's most expensive project at the time with a $20 million budget, featuring pioneering effects and an ambitious orchestral score by John Barry. While not a direct ripoff, it was clearly Disney's attempt to capture the Star Wars audience. It grossed around $36 million, but critics found its tone uneven, too dark for kids and too shallow for adults. Today, it's viewed as a strange atmospheric experiment that shows how even Disney tried to go Star Wars in the late 70s. Space Raiders, 1983. Produced by Roger Corman as a cheaper spiritual sequel to Battle Beyond the Stars, Space Raiders reuses much of that film's special effects footage. Literally the same ships, explosions, and laser battles. It follows a Han Solo-type smuggler who accidentally kidnaps a child during a raid and becomes his reluctant protector while being hunted across the galaxy. With a $2 million budget, it flopped theatrically but became a cult favorite on VHS and cable TV. Corman's strategy was simple. Recycle Star Wars aesthetics, reuse Battle Beyond the Stars' visuals, and sell it as something new. So the result feels like a weird deja vu version of Lucas's universe. Cheaper, scrappier, but still oddly charming.
Space Raiders, the greatest adventure a kid ever had.
That's 8 minutes. Thank you for watching. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe for more flops.